I'm David Pearce. I work for the Noosa Shire Council. I'm the bridge foreman. I look after bridges, all our road bridges, plus boardwalks and footbridges and anything timber. We've always have a problem with batten screws lifting, and then we've got to try and re-screw them down because people wear them and they get very sharp edges. And so far, we haven't had any trouble with the SPACs lifting up through the timber and being raised, and we haven't had to re-screw any of them, so they're saving time and no trips or no cut feet or anything like that, yeah. When someone sends in a report to say you've got a high batten screw, it can take a fair bit of finding where it is, you know, because it could be someone from the public reports it, and we can waste some considerable time looking for a high batten screw. It will save us a fair bit in time and money. On the SPACs, we only had to pre-drill, and then we could simply screw them down. Whereas when we're using batten screws, we've got to pre-drill, we've got to countersink, and then we've got to make sure they're down deep enough. It saves on having an extra drill. You've only got to have the two, one for for pre-drilling and one for putting them in, yeah. When you're doing a big run like this, it's probably even one less man you need because you haven't got another drill tied up, and yeah, so it's got big advantages there as well. We'll be definitely using more of them, and in other aspects of it too, like even in our road bridges, we're using them to put all our running planks down, we're using them to put our decks down, we use the Delta Seal, the big heavy gel ones, and when we go to replace deck, it's much more cost effective for us to remove the old the running plank and take the SPACs out of the deck as well. Basically got to strip the bridge to replace them. So with the SPACs, you can just back them out and you don't bust all your running plank, whereas if you've got spikes, yeah, it's hard to save your running plank, and so it's a huge cost saving on that side of things for us, yeah. We're using Delta Seals right out on Main Beach, and we have been for probably approximately about 5 years now. We've been using SPACs out over there. They'll last the timber out. I'm quite sure they'll, like the timber over on Main Beach only lasts for about 10 years anyway. So I don't have a problem with even using the Delta Seal ones and not the stainless over there, yeah. It's an old boardwalk and some of the joists are a bit soft, so we find the big Delta Seals grip very well into the softer joists. We just find it's far easier and quicker where we've used SPACs to replace timber with, yeah.